in putting forward the content of this course. But we also had another project that's actually a little bit more related to the current one that we are going to present today. That was developed with the objective to strengthen the capacity for poverty analysis to achieve SDG 1 and 2. And the idea and the difference between the two courses is that this course would be localized. So the idea is that the course would use the information available in the countries or in the region where it would be applied. So in the very beginning, we did two pilots, one in Morocco and the other one in Panama, with the support of the country office and also with the support of FAO headquarters and for the regional office. And it was based on that experience that the regional office for Africa actually decided to take both the virtual part of the course, but also the presential one to Africa. And there was a first experiment with Ghana and Zambia. And I see that Melissa is also with us, and Melissa was the key person to support the IPC-IG, the adaptation of the process, and in partnership with IFPRI. So IFPRI also helped us with the content to adapt to the countries and to the region where the course would be offered. So today we're very glad that with the support of the Subregional office and with the support of IFPRI, we are able to deliver this course, and now it's localized in Eastern Africa with a specific focus on Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Uganda. But I also know that there are some colleagues from Rwanda that are joining us. So without further ado, I will pass again the word for Thiago, just to say that the IPC-IG is really happy to see the content that has been produced in the past 3 years moving forward and supporting the capacity strengthening at the country level. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Soares. I see now that Mr. David Phiri is back. So if he's there, I'd like to pass the floor to him so he can deliver his initial words.
Excuse me, I had real issues coming in, technical issues. I had to get out and came back in. No, government representatives from Eritrea, Ethiopia, Uganda. It is good to see you, Fábio, and to meet you. And also to meet James Warner, as well as other colleagues from IFPRI, IPC-IG, and colleagues like Melissa and others that may join us from headquarters. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the introduction webinar on the online course on strengthening the use of poverty analysis to achieve SDGs 1 and 2 in Eastern Africa. The first two goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development are no poverty and zero hunger by 2030. These are ambitious goals and were agreed upon by all member states of the United Nations. Yet, this year's UN high-level political forum on sustainable development has shown that the world is not on track. Business as usual is therefore no longer sufficient. The world must rethink and replan. Despite a decade of strong economic growth since the 1990s, poverty and vulnerability levels remain very high and are projected to rise, especially in farming households. Growth by itself has proved insufficient to combat poverty and achieve food and nutrition security. According to the World Bank, the number of extreme poor in sub-Saharan Africa increased from 276 million to 413 million people in the last 15 years. This is more than 40% of our population here. Furthermore, the latest report on food security and nutrition in the world, produced by FAO, UNICEF, IFAD, WFP, and WHO, informs that 820 million people do not have enough to eat, with Africa having the highest prevalence of undernutrition at almost 20%, By 2050, the youth population in sub-Saharan Africa is expected to grow by 216 million, more than in any other continent in the world. Those with the highest levels of deprivation are often hidden, located in remote areas, minority as well as indigenous groups or people living within non-poor households. The challenge of leaving no one behind becomes particularly acute under these circumstances, exacerbated by the fact that deprivations are many and overlapping. On top of this, the adverse effects of climate change and competition over natural resources contribute to the degradation of our natural resources, inequitable benefit sharing, unrest, and conflict, at times resulting in mass migration. Country experiences show that multi-sectoral, multi-track approach is essential for addressing these multidimensional and intertwined issues. National commitment and leadership are absolutely required. Improving the enabling environment that addresses the economic, social, and environmental vulnerabilities that poor rural households face in their daily lives, and the knowledge and capacity to design investment support generates real and enduring change. FAO, of course, is committed to supporting countries in meeting the SDGs. FAO's new strategic framework is geared towards tackling the root causes of poverty and hunger, building a fairer society, and leaving no one behind. This course that you are introducing right now is an excellent example of our work. The executive program aims to strengthen understanding and use poverty analysis to inform national policy and program frameworks to increase investment impacts on eliminating poverty and hunger. The course is based on an area conducted training program of collaboration with government executives in Ghana and Zambia back in 2019. I think this is the one Fábio was referring to. Now we are taking to the next level in East Africa with successful cases from Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Uganda. But we're also happy to welcome our Rwandan colleagues for a sneak view of how this course goes. So on behalf of FAO and our partners, I wish to first congratulate you for being designated by your countries. I'm talking of government representatives as well as FAO colleagues from these three countries to join this program. Second, I warmly welcome you to this online course. I do not doubt that the following 4 weeks will provide you with a range of ideas, innovations, and orientations to support proper development thinking and action in your own countries. I trust that the diversity of actors, different sectors, ministries, and international institutions represented here today, along with your senior management, will energize you to engage in a rich sharing of best practices, challenges, opportunities, successes, and lessons learned. I hope you will enjoy the webinar today, and the remaining 4 weeks will be impactful for your countries. I thank you very much, and back to you, Thiago.
Thank you very much, Mr. Phiri, for your welcoming words. And now I'd like to pass the floor to Mr. James Warner from IFPRI. Mr. Warner, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I think good morning in Brazil, right? I think that's correct. Yeah, okay. I think we've missed that it was good morning. And then good afternoon, everyone else here in Eastern Africa. My name is James Warner. I'm the head of office for the Eastern and Southern African office of IFPRI, based in Addis Ababa. We've been here 8 years and have been extensively involved in many policy discussions and capacity building workshops and things. And I find this one to be a very beneficial one for experience sharing regionally. And I think there's been some very interesting, I was working with FAO, we traveled to Uganda and Eritrea earlier. And we sort of went and found some experts to provide some good input into this course for experience sharing, and I found the depth and breadth of the experiences and policy frameworks and implementations to be very interesting and useful. So I'm going to be brief because I think David really covered most everything that we needed to cover, but I wanted to just say that that from myself, I found it very interesting and insightful for all the different ways in which countries are addressing the big issues of SDG 1 and SDG 2. So I want to encourage all of you to dig into the materials and hopefully find them useful. Go through as the course develops through the local experiences and the regional experiences. And I would encourage you to reach out to the policy people in those countries if you find some of these things interesting and try to be useful for your own countries. I think that would be a really useful thing. And you can certainly contact me as well if you find that useful. So just as a broad piece of this, the IFPRI is very happy to be a part of this, and as been mentioned, we were involved in the phase 1 with Ghana and Zambia, providing some local experience sharing there, and now we're moving to this Eastern Africa one, and I hope that we can move this forward to other countries' experiences, because this seems to be a really good format for some important experience sharing that we should be doing. So I encourage you to all to really dig into the material, do well, and seek out additional information as you can, as you wish, to work forward your country. So good luck, everybody, and I hope all the best for everything. Thank you very much, Thiago. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Warner. Well, thank you all for your kind words. Your words of encouragement are really important, so we can kick off our course like the best way possible. I know that some of our guests today are quite busy, so feel free to leave the meeting if you need. Otherwise, of course, you're welcome to stay with us. If you're a course participant, I also kindly beg you to stay. This is really important. As I said before, we'll be introducing the course, its objectives, our learning environment, its main functionalities, etc. So please don't leave if you're a course participant. Before we actually begin, I must say that this session is being recorded, so people can access our content later. And also, before we begin, let me also acknowledge the presence of Ms. Paula Osakabe, who is one of our knowledge management assistants here at socialprotection.org. Paula, if you want to say hi, she's been working really hard to put the course together, to put everything online for us. So thank you very much, Paula.
Hey, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. I'll be here if you need any help. So if you need anything, let me know.
Paula. Roberta Brito, who is one of our researchers, should join us later today, or might join us later today. And also let me acknowledge the presence of Mr. Kafkas Kaprasley, who's been also working very hard with us in order to put this course together. So thank you so much, Kafkas, for your hard work. This is really important. All right, we might now begin, I guess, with the actual content and the introduction I want to offer you to the course. Once again, feel free to open your cameras if you're comfortable with it. You're also more than welcome to open your mics if you want to ask any questions at any time. Just please raise your hands and I'll pass the floor to you. As I said before, this is supposed to be very informal. I mean, take this as a class or some sort of class, right? So if you have any questions, please just let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them. This session should take something like 30 to 45 minutes, perhaps 1 hour. It really depends on how many questions you have. Also, feel free to introduce yourselves on the chat if you feel like to. I mean, I know we've got colleagues from many different countries. We'll have the opportunity to introduce yourselves in our learning environment too, but feel free to do it now if you want to. So let's start with the basics, which is how to enroll to our course. I know some of you have already done it, but if some have not, well, this is how you do it. So also feel free to just follow these steps on your own web browser. I mean, enrolling, it should be pretty easy, but let me go through each of these steps. So the first thing you need to know is how you create an account at socialprotection.org. So if you're following me, just go to socialprotection.org. You'll find a link on the upper right corner of your screen, which says join us/login. If you're already a member, all you need to do is just enter your credentials to log in to the course. If you're not a member yet, please just create an account so you'll have access to the course. Once you've created your account, all you need to do is either follow the link I've provided you via email or click on Learn Virtual Campus, e-learning/virtual campus, and then go to self-paced courses, instructor-based courses, or virtual campus, and you should be able to find our course. Once you log in at our, once you log in to our virtual campus, you should find our course right there. This tiny square here with the title in red. So yeah, so once you've logged in the learning environment, just click on the course and you'll be able to enroll yourself. All you need to do is just enter the enrollment key we've provided you through email, which is SPA #12EA. Just type in the code and then click on Enroll Me, and you should be ready to go. Is there any questions so far? Am I speaking too fast? Is that okay? Please let me know. Please let me know on the chat if the space is okay, right? Or if you're having any trouble logging in, making your account, please just let us know through the chat, or open your mic and your camera and let us know. But if you follow the steps, you should be able now to access the course. And once you do it, you should see a screen like this one. So this is our main learning environment. Our virtual campus is a Moodle-based virtual campus. So if you're familiar with Moodle, you shouldn't have any sort of problems to navigate through our course. Of course, I'll be addressing some details throughout this afternoon. Notice that we have this main banner here. We have a navigation menu on the left. We also have another menu on the right, in which you'll see a progression bar, a calendar. We'll be able to see which tasks are due soon. So yeah, give yourself some minutes to explore the environment while I speak. Feel free to also navigate throughout my presentation. Before you continue, I think Roberta Brito, which I just introduced to you, has joined us. So hi, Roberta, thank you for joining. As I mentioned, Roberta is one of our researchers. She was responsible for developing and adjusting part of our content. You want to say something? Say hi, Roberta.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this course. Hope you enjoy it. And in case you have any doubts, you can contact me using the Q&A and discussion forum.
Thanks, Roberta. I'll go through the forums in a second. All right, so you should now be able to see the screen I'm sharing with you. So let's move forward. I want to address some other details, but first, before we actually talk about the learning environment, let me give you some general information about our course. So our course actually starts next Monday, even though we'll have access to the content from now on. It officially starts next Monday, and it should last 5 weeks. So we start next Monday, and then we end our course on the October 24th. So 5 weeks starting on Monday. We've got a total workload of 15 hours, which means that you should be able to commit at least 3 hours per week in order to tackle all our activities, in order to go through all our content. Pardon? Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is a 15-hour course, so get ready to commit at least 3 hours of your week in order to go through all our content. moving forward, what is this course about? Well, just like our panelists said, the main idea, the main objective of this course is to offer you the broad knowledge and skills to understand the value and use of poverty analysis in its multiple dimensions and intersectional implications in order to inform and support policy and program design and implementation in your own country towards eradicating poverty and hunger and reaching SDGs 1 and 2. So again, congratulations for being selected. You'll be acting as knowledge multipliers from now on. So please do enjoy, do take this chance as something unique, as something special that you'll be actually using in the future in order to, foster and further develop your own countries and better develop your own daily activities. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them or to open your mic and camera. So in order to, in order to achieve that objective, we have developed the course through 5 or 4 modules. Each module will be addressing one single topic in its multiple dimensions, of course, starting with module 1, which will be about poverty fundamentals. As I said before, you have 1 week to start and to do all the activities that we propose for each module. So the first module starts next Monday and lasts until the following Sunday. Module 2 will be about theories of change for rural poverty reduction. Again, we'll have 1 week in order to conclude this module. Module 3, building blocks supporting inclusive poverty reduction. Module 4, coordination mechanism, targeting and M&E. And then you'll have a final week in order to wrap up, to revise any content, to do further readings, and to take our final exam. So as I said before, 5 weeks. This is pretty intensive, we know. And as I said, organization, setting some time aside in order to conclude each module will be very important, but don't worry, I'll pass you some little tips on how to organize before we finish our talk this afternoon. Not sure how familiar you are with online courses. I guess that some of you might be quite familiar right now due to COVID, but yeah, should be now, the whole, yeah, Dennis, go ahead, if you have a question.
Yes,
please.
Thank you so much for the start. My name is Dennis Ochare from Uganda, Ministry of Water and Environment. We are indicating that we have 3 hours in a week. I don't know if I'm right. So what is this specific time? Do we have a specific time for each week, or we have the entire week from Monday to Friday? We have specific maybe minutes or so. How is it scheduled per week?
Thank you, Dennis. That's an excellent question. Well, we'll need to engage through 3 weeks per week. You can study at your own pace. There's no pre-scheduled time frame for you to finish the course. For you to finish the activities for each week. But we expect you to dedicate at least 3 hours per week in order to finish the course. But you can study at your own pace. Let's say you could just dedicate 1 hour on Monday, half an hour on Wednesday. You're free to build your own schedule.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so
much.
Well,
that was a very, very important question. And actually, when we talk about online learning, this is actually something that we kind of praise, the flexibility it offers the students. So yeah, on the other hand, you're also responsible for your own learning. So please take this task seriously if you wanna, really achieve the goal of our course. But you're free to build your own schedule, yeah. Moving forward then, let me talk a little bit about the functionalities we've got on our learning environment. As I showed you before, once you log in, we'll see this little navigation bar on the top of your screen, and you've got 4 different icons here. First icon is announcements. This is a forum we'll be using to to spread some news. So from now on, I won't be contacting you through email. Every new regarding the course will be posted on this forum. So for instance, if you want to communicate something regarding, the continuation of the course, if there's any sort of deadline extension, we'll let you know through this forum. So you're welcome to keep on, checking out the forum regularly. You should get an email whenever there's a new post on the forum. But this will be our main channel of communication with you from now on. We also got two other forums. The first forum is the technical support forum. So if you're having any trouble, engaging with the course, engaging with the lessons, if you can't find anything, please just post a message on this forum and Paula would be responsible for answering you. So this forum is dedicated to technical issues. And then we've got our third forum, which is the Q&A and discussion forum, in which you are more than welcome to post any doubts you may have concerning content. If you want to ask a question, if you want to, just have a chat with our colleagues regarding content, this is the forum that you should be using. Pardon. So we highly encourage you to post your doubts here, to engage with the colleagues. Each one of you, or many of you, are located in different countries. So this is a really nice place for you to engage with each other. And we really, really welcome all your doubts. And we would like to encourage you to use this forum. As I used to say, one's doubt might be actually shared by a larger group. So don't be ashamed to post if you have any questions. This is really important to us. And finally, we've got this icon here, Participants Guide, which basically gives you all the information you need to know about the course. So pretty much everything I'm talking about here this afternoon is already there in our Participants Guide. It will guide you throughout our course, all the information regarding our objectives, regarding evaluation, regarding activities. Everything is in the Participants Guide. You're welcome to start reading it once we finish. If you have any doubts regarding, the course structure, the modules, or schedule, all the information is already there. As I mentioned before, you've got access to the course starting now, even though we only officially start next Monday. We wanted to give you, a few more days just to get to know the learning environment, to get to know the course, so you don't need to rush next week. So feel free to read the Participants Guide. And if you have any further doubts after reading it, please reach us. How is it so far? Have you got any other questions? How's the pace? If you have any questions, just please raise your hands and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, here's just an example of one of our forums. This is an example from the Q&A and discussion forum. Once you're logged in, and once you're navigating through the course environment, you'll be able to add a new discussion topic. So just click this big orange button here and type in your question, type in your doubt or your invitation for your colleagues to chat. Feel free to use it as you want. As I mentioned before, Roberta will be helping you out here. She'll be answering your content-related questions. Just please use this forum only for content-related questions and the other forum for technical questions. It helps us to organize ourselves and to actually help you as well on the best of our capacities. Once you finish, I'll actually add a topic so you can introduce yourselves. Since you've got colleagues from so many different countries, I think it'd be great if you could just introduce yourselves and start a little conversation about our course expectations and really what we intend to learn and get from this course throughout the next 5 weeks. So once you're finished, I'll just post here an introduction topic so you can introduce yourselves and start a little conversation. Okay. Let me talk a little bit now about our course structure. You will notice that every module has pretty much the same structure. even though only the first module is available now. I'll talk about that in a second. All right, so no matter which module you're in, you'll find pretty much the same structure. As I said, we'll find a roadmap, which tells you pretty much everything you need to know about that module. It shows you learning goals, your learning plan. So if you want to have a quick glimpse on a particular module, just click on roadmap, and you'll know what to expect from that module. Then you've got interactive lessons. I'll talk about that in a second. You've got a library in which you'll find different resources. I mean, all the reference that we use to develop the course are in the library, as well as additional resources like readings, videos, documents, etc. So please browse the library. I mean, you'll find some very important additional content in the library. Of course, we don't expect you to read everything that's in the library throughout these 5 weeks, but you're welcome to if you want to. I mean, if you're really interested on a certain topic, we'll find additional information here. And finally, we've got a test for each module in order to, check if you have actually achieved our learning goals from each module. So once you finish the lessons, once you finish the readings, you're welcome to take the test and see how it goes. 2 important points I'd like to stress right now. First one is that in the first module, you'll also find an initial survey in which we'll be asking you about your familiarity with online courses and also your familiarity with some topics. So please do answer the initial survey. It is really important to us. We use your answers in order to improve our courses. We're constantly trying to offer you better courses. So please do take no more than 5 minutes to answer the survey. It is actually really brief. So if you want to do it now, feel free to, or once you finish our session, don't forget to answer our survey. Another point that I'd like to stress is that each module will be available. We'll have 1 new module available per week. So if you log in now, you only have access to the first module. And you'll see, if you try to reach the second module, you'll see this little message there. I know the picture is actually kind of tiny, but you'll notice that it says that the second module is available from September 27. So as I said before, each module will be available on a sequence. So starting next Monday with the first module, and then the following Monday with the second module, and so on. We recommend you that you actually try to dedicate those 3 hours each week in order not to, leave a lot of content behind, and because that would probably create this need for you to catch up later, which is not really recommended. So try to follow our schedule. We'll also find that there's a tiny progression bar on the right-hand side of your screen, so you can actually check out whether you are good to go or not regarding every activity. Once you finish a module, once you finish a lesson, for instance, you'll see that progression bar becomes green, right? We set some deadlines for each activity. I mean, you're encouraged to follow our suggestion. You don't need to. As I said before, you can study at your own pace, but we highly recommend that you actually follow the deadlines that we suggest, so we can, really take the best out of the course. Is this clear? If you have any questions, please just let me know. Let's move on to the interactive lessons. Well, what are the interactive lessons? This is the main material we'll have to interact with during our course. The lessons are web-based. We'll find readings, you'll find point-and-click content, you'll find videos, you'll find audio, you'll find quizzes, all in this lessons. So, as I said, we have many different elements in each lesson. We also have an audio that actually voiceover feature. So you are more than welcome to engage with the content, to take your time to do the readings. I mean, we will also be offered some quizzes throughout each lesson. These will not count for your final grade. They're just to check if you're actually paying attention to the course. You know, it's much more of a sort of individual evaluation mechanism. So yeah, all the content, it will be presented to you through this lessons. And by the end of each lesson, we'll also find a quiz. So you can also just check out, see, you know, if you have achieved the learning goals of the lesson or not. So let me just quickly go through this screens here. So you can see here one screen from the first lesson. Every lesson has a welcome message in which you'll see a brief overview of what that lesson is about. In order to access content, just click enter. And once you click, you'll find the second screen here. So to store, just click start. And then on here, you'll see the navigation bar. So in order to move forward, just click next. If you need to go back, click brief. You also have some marker tools here on the upper right corner of your screen. You might use that to take notes, you know, to highlight any content that you feel like it's important. So yeah, you're welcome to explore the lessons and as I said, to do them at your own pace. I'm sorry. There's also some additional options here in our navigation menu. I mean, if you click in the first icon here, you'll see all the slides we've got here for you. So, I mean, if you want to jump to a previous content, or if you want to move forward, you can also use that menu. You can reload the audio. I mean, take some time to explore the content, and I'm pretty sure you'll be good. Again, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. As I mentioned, each module, each lesson has a final quiz. You need to pass the final quiz from each lesson in order to continue to move on with the course. You can answer these quizzes as many times as you want. I mean, if you're not satisfied with your grade, you can take the quiz again. You can do it again. It's no problem. I mean, as I mentioned, this is for you. So please take your time in order to really engage with the content, in order to really, you know, get to know what we're talking about. As I said, you're responsible for your own learning. That's really important for you to, you know, to keep your heads on. Moving forward, let me talk a little bit about assessment and evaluation. We've got three different types of evaluation instruments. We've got quizzes for each lesson. They have no grades. I mean, they're supposed to provide you with a self-assessment of how you're actually, you know, learning. There are, at the end of each lesson, we also have tests, one test per module. These are actually graded. Each of these tests have a 15% weight on your final grade, which totals 60% of your final grade. And then at the end of the course, we'll have a final exam, which accounts for 40% of your final grade. As I said before, you'll be able to take this test and each quiz as many times as you want, but please be aware that you'll need to obtain a final score greater than or equal to 60% to be considered as having achieved the course learning objectives and therefore have access to the certificate. As I said, we'll be able to take the quizzes and the final exam as many times as you want. So if you're not satisfied with your grade, just do it again, study a little bit more, and try to score a better grade. All right. Do you have any questions so far? No? Good. I hope that I'm making myself clear. All right. Yeah, Dennis, go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, facilitator. I would want to know how long does the final exam take? And also at the end of the module, how long does the quiz take?
The final exam should take around 1 hour. It really depends on you. I mean, some students work at different places. You know, some people are fast readers. Some people take a little more time to read. So it should take around 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, something like that, not more than that. And the same for the tasks of each module, around 45 minutes, 1 hour maximum. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Okay. Well, moving forward, we're almost running out of time and almost reaching the end of my presentation here today. So I'd just like to share some tips with you. As I mentioned before, I'm not sure how many of you are actually familiar with online learning, but I realized that some tips, I mean, might help you organize yourselves and as I said before, take the most out of our course. So the first tip I'd like to share with you is, well, set daily goals for studying. As I mentioned, you're responsible for your own learning. I mean, you can take your own time. You can do the course at your own pace. So try to set daily goals. You don't need to finish the course all at once. In fact, it is not recommended that you finish each module all at once. Setting a clear goal can help you stay motivated and beat procrastination. So let's say set that we'll do 1 lesson per day or dedicate half an hour per day, and you should be good to go. We know that many of you are busy. We know that many of you are probably working in front of a computer for 8-9 hours per day. That can be very tiresome. So just try to set aside, 1 hour, half an hour per day, and you'll be able to beat the course. The second tip that I like to share is try to create a dedicated study space, and calm, environment so you can actually focus. It's really easy for us to lose focus whenever we are, staring constantly at a screen. So set a learning environment that actually helps you study. Some people like to study with a cup of coffee or tea. I myself like to light some incense. Everyone study differently, but try to have a dedicated space. Try to set up specific time for studying. Tell your family, I'm taking a course right now. I'll be out for 1 hour, for half an hour. Please let me concentrate. That also should help you to take the best out of the course. Schedule some time to study on your calendar. I mean, it's up to you how many hours or minutes you want to dedicate per day to study, but try to be organized. Take notes. This is another nice tip. Even though all the content is there on the screen, usually when we take notes, we usually boost our comprehension about any topics. It extends our attention span. It helps us memorize content. So take some notes. I myself always have this little notebook here at my working table. So yeah, you're more than welcome to take your own notes. If you want, you can share with your colleagues, but that actually helps you memorize the content and increase your comprehension about what's being taught. Try to join the discussions. As I said before, use the forums. This is a great place not only to ask questions about the assignments, about the content, the topics, but also it's a really nice place to engage with other people. We've been deprived from human interaction for a while now, at least here in Brazil. We're still not back at the office, so this is a nice social space as well. So use it to connect with your colleagues, use it to meet people. I imagine that many of you share some common interests. So yeah, use the space not only as a space for for solving your doubts regarding content or technical issues, but also try to use it as a social space in order to exchange, practices, experiences, etc. Once you start studying, try to focus, do one thing at a time. Multitasking is usually less productive than focusing on a single task at a time. There are many studies that actually point to that fact. I know that sometimes we're actually urged to multitask, but when it comes to studying, that's not really recommended. So try to focus. As I said before, set aside some time and dedicate the time to studying only, try to turn off all the distractions, leave your cell phones on mute, so you can actually enjoy that time. And finally, take breaks. Resting is really important, especially when it comes to learning. If you're rested, you'll probably have a better performance. As I just mentioned, most of us are working in front of screens, so we get tired. So if you're tired, just take a break. You've got plenty of time to finish the course. You've got 5 weeks ahead. So take some breaks, go get a cup of coffee, take a walk. That's really important. I mean, you're responsible for your own learning. You can do it at your own pace. So study in a way that actually makes you comfortable. Take breaks. That's also really important. Stretch your legs so you can actually really, increase your performance and your learning. Right? Any questions? Do you have any comments? Would you like to share anything with us? Your expectations? I think this is the time. If you have any questions or general comments, you're just welcome, to share anything with us. No questions. Well, I think that's good. Hope that I hope I was clear throughout my presentation. Otherwise, if you need any help, you're more than welcome to contact me. This is my email here, thiago.ferreira@IPC-UNDP.org. So please feel free to shoot me an email, or if you have any questions, you can also reach us through the forums, as I said. We're really happy to have you here. We work really hard on this course. Roberta, Paula, and all your team have been very engaged on developing the course and putting everything together for you. So we really hope that you enjoy this opportunity. We'll be, we hope that you can share the knowledge with your colleagues in the future, which is also really, really important. See, there's a message here. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, we're super excited, and we really hope that you enjoy the course. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, as I said, please do not hesitate to reach us. And well, thank you. It was really a pleasure to meet you all, and we'll be in touch in the next 5 weeks. We wish you a very happy, a very great course, and yeah, I think that's it for today.